Hey guys, um, hopefully one last video. I might actually make two more again, just because I'm actually really enjoying it. But let's just talk about. We didn't get a chance, but how we configured. Okay. Our 3-2 zone, okay, last game, I think you would agree, we played a team that loved to shoot the 3-point shot. I mean, I think when we did our debrief, they had 8 3-pointers, okay? There are some teams and some players that will try and get into the paint, drive to the net more than shoot threes. So our alignment, if you can see our alignment, what we have is we have our 3 up high, right? Okay, so that's great. And we have our wings kind of wide. They're spread out. So that when a team tries to put 4 or 5 players along the 3-point arc and pass the ball around, we can move around with that and get some closeouts and really good stuff like that. Let's just quickly talk about the team that we're going to face this weekend. They have players that I would say are more likely to try and drive to the basket. They will still shoot threes. Every team's going to do it now. It's the new NBA. But there are players on that team that are more likely, and I'll go over those specific players, that are more likely to try and drive, okay, and take high quality, high percentage 2-point shots in the paint, okay? If I can use a player on our own team, Jackson, that's him. He loves to, he'll take 1 or 2 3-pointers, and if it was up to him, he'd probably try and take more. But really, he likes to drive and get into, this area and get little short shots, layups, that type of thing. I love that stuff, okay? With a team that wants to try and drive and penetrate, we have to stop what's called dribble penetration. Dribble penetration is simply this. We have a player here, and they just dribble through right into high percentage area and make shots, okay? So when we face teams that will try and get into the paint, will try and dribble penetrate, as opposed to last week that just shot a lot of perimeter shots, the first adjustment we make is our wing players. Our wing players pinch more. They play closer to the high post areas, okay? I hope that comes across, okay? And even our 3 might play down a little bit, okay? So as you can see, is our top 3 players have compressed as opposed to, expanded. Well, I think you can appreciate is that if we take that same scenario, right, and now this player tries to dribble penetrate, the job of 3 and 1 is to pinch together and stop that dribble penetration, okay? Your job is to stop one from getting into the paint. You want to make him reverse the ball, dribble back out, pass out to the wing, whatever. You cannot let him get into the paint, okay? So that's going to be probably a very different thing that we see this coming weekend than we saw last weekend, okay? And that's my job as a coach, is to prepare you for that, okay? And unfortunately, with 2-hour practices once a week, there's just not enough time. So that's why I'm making this video. So, when we play, I will say wings wide or wings tight. I think it's very obvious. Wings wide is the 2 and the 1 play closer to the 3-point line because we're worried about 3-point shots. Wings tight, obviously, you're going to play closer to the high post area because we're more worried about players driving into the paint, looking for layups, looking for floaters, and more high percentage shots, okay? So I didn't get a chance at our practice to go over that, so I thought this was a great opportunity. Hopefully, if everyone watches these videos before Sunday, that I can educate you guys a little bit so that we can be a little bit more prepared. Because when I look at their team, they have, the makeup of their players are tend more towards, trying to dribble, penetrate into the paint. Okay, so we'll likely set up with our 3 down a little bit and our 1 and 2 closer. Okay, that doesn't mean that we might adjust during the game. Each line that goes out might be a little different, but by and large, even in a 3-2 zone, there's slight variations, and that's one that I did want to talk to you guys about, where we play wings wide or wings tight. Okay, and then obviously with our 4 and 5, if ever there's dribble penetration, okay, and this is where 4 and 5, you have to communicate, okay? Because this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show this scenario. There's a 1 here. Maybe there's a 5 here. There's a 4 here. There's a 2. And there's a 3. This is a very, very common offensive formation. It's called a 1-3-1. 1, 1, 2, 3. So that's the 3, 1. Okay? If we're facing that, okay, our 4 and our 5 have to communicate, because if 1 is able to dribble penetrate if green 1 is able to penetrate between our 3 and our 2, someone has to step up and stop them, right? Now, I think looking at this picture, I hope everyone would say, well, it's got to be 4, right? Because there's no offensive player behind 4. But if 4 and 5 aren't communicating, it's really easy for 5 to step up. And now what do you have? Well, green 1 has an easy pass to green 4 for a real easy basket. So, this short little video hopefully shows you that, we have to have communication everywhere on the floor, okay? So in this instance, if I'm 4 and I'm 5, I'm 5, I say, I've got a baseline, like 4, you've got the middle. So 4 knows that it's his job to come up here and cover, okay? It's not uncommon okay, for this guy to run the baseline. So he might start off on this side, but he'll end up here. Again, R4 and R5 have to communicate, because now it would be 5's job to step up, okay, and block the middle if there was, if player 1 was able to split and get in here, okay? Hopefully that makes a lot of sense. I'm going to stop the video there. And again, I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch these. I know I'm making a lot right now. This won't be as many. There won't be this many every week. Okay. I'm trying to catch up from the first week, trying to get us into a position where we are a solid defensive team. I think I practice. I mentioned this, and I'll mention it again, is I believe defense wins games. If we play solid defense, I think we can always come out on top. We have enough offensive weapons on our team. We have enough scorers. We have scorers that, you know, that I didn't even know we had. I'll use Michael hit 2 3-pointers last game, 2 corner threes. Like, we are going to have enough offense. If we spend the time and if we dedicate to being a real solid defensive team, we'll win more games, we'll have more fun, and as the season goes on, we'll still work on some offense, but defense first. Thanks again, guys, and I might make one more video, but if you don't watch it this week, that's okay.